I've had the SVS Prime Pinnacle speakers auditioning in my room for a few months, and all I can say is I love these speakers. I mean, I can say more than that, and I will, so stick around. Perfect. Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, home theater enthusiast and all-around tech lover, and on this channel we bring you the tech of entertainment. So we do unboxings, demos, comparisons, tips, as well as real-world reviews of the tech that entertains you, so you can find the best devices and get the most out of them. So if you're into that, then hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. So I reached out to SVS a few months ago because I had heard good things about the SVS Prime Pinnacle speakers and wanted to check them out in person to see what they were all about. They sent along the Prime Center channel speaker as well, so that my entire front stage would be voice matched. For those of you unaware, the Prime Pinnacles are SVS's newest speakers, which were made to be refined enough for the audiophiles out there and have enough slam to get down in a home theater setting also. And this was right up my alley because, as you may know, I love two-channel music and I have a little thing for home theater, as you might have heard. So I appreciate SVS sending me these to check out. So let's talk a little about the key specs of these bad boys for those of you who haven't seen the unboxing and overview video that's linked up there. They are three-way speakers with a frequency response of 29 Hz to 25 kHz, plus or minus 3 dB, so they have a really wide frequency response. The three 6.5-inch woofers have an internal crossover of 300 Hz to the 5.25-inch mid-range driver, while that driver has a crossover of 2.1 kHz to the 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter. The tweeter is placed at ear level, right between the mid-range and woofers. On the back you'll find the 5-way binding post as well as 3 2-inch ports, one for each of the bass woofers since they all have their own individual enclosures. There are two finishes available, the traditional black ash available for $7.99 or a black piano glass version available for $8.99. Alright, so let's talk about my experience and the actual performance. As a company that primarily specializes in subwoofers, who would have thought that SVS's speakers would be this good? In this review, I want to describe exactly what I heard when I listened to not only the test tracks I played in the music demo linked up there, but also in the music that I love listening to all the time. Like any other speaker of this caliber that I've used, I ran them at full range during the time I had them, and they created such a convincingly large and detailed soundstage when playing two-channel music. The tweeter and mid-range of the speaker are so detailed and bring out so much detail that it's not an exaggeration to say that you'll hear all the nuances of the performance. Vocals were clear without the coloration of lesser speakers. Tweeters with a lot of detail can sometimes sound harsh and eventually cause ear fatigue, but that wasn't the case with the Pinnacles. I listened to hours of music with the Pinnacles and loved every single minute of it. Adele is one of my favorite artists, and vocal-heavy tracks like on her album 21 just had a lot of nuance, was airy, and just came across very well. But the speakers also had all the deep, full bass response and transients to bang out pop or hip-hop tracks and recreate instruments like drums or upright bass just as well. Whether it was powered by my receiver or the external Outlaw Model 5000 amp, the speaker's characteristics did not change. It was full of vibrancy and detail whether I had them at low or high volumes. Sure, it's great for music, but I bet you want to know how about its home theater performance. Well, as I said, I have these powered by an external amp, and in a home theater setting like this with a total of 9 channels, I think it's best to feed these speakers with some good external power, especially at higher volumes. There was no scene in any movie at any volume that I threw at these speakers that they couldn't handle. They were paired with a Prime Center channel speaker which I had crossed over at 80 Hz, but together they just brought every movie I played to life. From action movies like Godzilla the King of Monsters, which has an insane soundtrack with so much happening all the time, to musicals like The Greatest Showman, which I think is a great way of testing a speaker's vocal reproduction. If you have a larger room though, I would recommend the Ultra Center channel because it just has more output than the Prime Center is capable of. The Pinnacles though were configured as full range, and I had the receiver set to LFE plus main with a 40 Hz crossover. That means the sub would also play frequencies below 40 Hz in tandem with the towers. You should check out the movie demo I made with the SB3000 that's linked in the card up there. Speakers are very dynamic and composed at high volumes with not even a hint of distortion, and the tweeters have a wide enough dispersion that a sweet spot was never really an issue in my room. But it all can't be good, right? So what didn't I like about these speakers? Well, one of my biggest gripes is the fact that the speakers don't actually come with carpet spikes, but instead have rubber feet which are more suited for wooden floors. Also, the grills are not magnetic and the binding posts just don't really fit the caliber of speakers that these are. It's a small detail, but I was surprised to see ones that look so plain. But beyond that, I didn't have any other issues with these speakers. So who are these speakers for? Well, if you have a medium-sized room to one on the larger side and you like listening to 2-channel music and want speakers that can play deep full bass or the airy vocals of your favorite singer, or if you just want to recreate that movie experience in your home theater, then I think these are some great 3-way speakers to help bring life to whatever you're listening to. That was certainly my experience. In fact, these are so relatively small and pack so much performance that I am really sad to see them go. Really sad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about these speakers and if they're in your future perhaps. Also, if you like reviews of speakers like these and want to see more, then you should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to like the video if you liked the video, and check out the merch store for awesome home theater and gaming t-shirts with cool designs like this and more. Until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood Villaman saying peace.